welcome to the office. Have a seat. Welcome to your psychic tarot reading with me. All right, tuning into your energy, I'm getting a sense of dread, and I'm also getting a long sword, like that medieval long sword. So we're gonna open this up with the tarot and take a look. What do you guys think of the new setup? Nice clear table, it feels good. Have yourself a cup of tea, make yourself comfortable. We'll open up this energy, but yes, I'm getting this sense of dread, long sword. This could be a past life thing happening, going on. Tell me more about this energy. What message am I here to deliver? Okay. So to start, we've got the ace. Gosh, my arms are so long. We have the ace of cups. So this is right off the bat a big emotional experience. Is there a way that I can? No. Okay. A very big emotional experience. This is. That's kind of where I felt it, but I felt the dread right here. So when that dread kind of gets released, it's gonna be this floodgate of emotion. This is the holy grail, okay? So whatever you're dealing with that has an existing sense of dread, you are gonna have a release, you are going to have a breakthrough. And we're gonna open that up, so don't worry. Tell me about this breakthrough, tell me about this situation, this context. What message am I here to deliver? Okay, check this out. We've got the Fool and we have Lay Tower. Okay, so clearly this is a really big breakthrough. This is not, you came here to really do the work, okay, with this experience. This is something that is gonna set you free. Now, what she's telling me with this is what I had said to myself, like since I was like 14, what can be destroyed by the truth should be. It's a quote, it's not mine. I'm a great writer, I cannot take credit for that quote though. So this is something that is gonna have a huge shake up with it because of a truth that you may have forgotten, that you may have suppressed, something may have gone under the rug, something may have been, a little bit suppressed of a truth. And when this comes out, it is going to change things. It's going to, whatever has been built on the suppression, whatever has been built on the oppression, that's what's going to burst apart. That's what's going to be crumbling. So you're not going to miss it. You might think that you're going to miss it, but you're not going to miss it. Some of you have asked for signs. Okay, so it's sort of, I'm getting like so I identify as a witch, okay? It's pretty clear. Like, look at this. Let's do, you got the dowsing rods over here, right? So I'm picking up the energy of someone who is either also a witch, that you identify as a witch, or I don't know, warlock, whatever you want to like label it as, but as someone who is like an energy practitioner, okay? Maybe you do, I don't know, you do something. It's like you're a baby witch though, like a baby psychic, or that you do some energy work, or that you do some like forms of magic, or you dabble at the very least, or someone you're connecting with is like a dabbler, maybe it's crystals, maybe it's, I think Tai Chi has that stuff, like energy work. Maybe it's herbs, maybe it's crystal grids, maybe you do, something, but it's something. There's a connection. You already have a connection that you work on and that you build up. And all right, so let me just a little bit about the program, because she wants me to tell you about this. So what's today? I'm recording this. So this is Tuesday. When did this happen? This is something even recent that I asked about. And this is kind of how it happens whenever I ask, or whenever something kind of comes up. So a name came up in a movie that I watched. And then that night, the name came up again when I was dreaming. And in the dream, I was calling a specific person by this name. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like I woke up thinking, oh, that's very interesting. So I woke up and I got a vision. And then I asked for confirmation on that vision to see it again, but not in a vision, in physical reality. And then, when was that? And then the next day, no, I saw that in the physical that same day. I think that was yesterday. It had to have been yesterday because today I saw it again and it was another confirmation again. So that's kind of how it works. So if you think to your, not just like your dreams, but your own visions and what you are physically seeing in your physical reality, that's where you're going to, it's going to be close to you. Like everything that you need, all the answers you need, it's always, my arms are so, but it's like, it's always right here. It's also like really hot. So I'm just like sweating. Anyway, so it's always right here. Your answers are always like within arm's reach, whether you have short arms or whether you have very long arms, but your answers are always going to be in this, somewhere where you can see it. It's never going to be beyond you. It's never going to be beyond your comprehension. Especially when you're asking and you're doing energy work and you're doing magic and you're getting confirmations or you're talking with your angels and your spirit guides, all of that. So you're already dabbling in this. So I'm giving you some encouragement and some confirmation and some, real world kind of examples of how it manifests and how it comes about, because you may get a premonition. Some of you are going to get some kind of premonition, and it's how everyone has their own, just like everyone has their own body language vocabulary, everyone has their own psychic vocabulary. It's like with a perfect example. So with a psychic medium, maybe for some psychics, there's like a specific thing they're shown to signify cancer, death by cancer versus death by accident or by something else. It's this, but it's not going to be the same for every single psychic medium. It's going to be different. So you're going to have your own language, and that's why you don't want to doubt it. Something that works for me, if I do this, you guys have seen me do that like on the channel, my golden oldies, when I do this, that helps me. But if it doesn't help you, don't do it. Everything that I teach, it's based on effectiveness. It's empirical. So it's based on results, what actually works. And that's how I teach. That's how I do my techniques. It's how I do everything. Everything that I see, I experiment. I love experimenting. I'm on Aquarian moon. So, so long story short, premonition, breakthrough, emotional release, truths. I really feel like this is maybe even a truth breaking to the surface that may have just been under ice, and looking up at your life, through the ice, and maybe snow has been on it, and then there's like this break. So there's something that's going to be changing form, because she's showing me this thing with ice and water and snow and like just water changing forms. So we're going to open that up more, but there's something that's going to change form. And this full energy is like clean slate. Clean slate. So I would take it. I would go with that. Let's take a look. What else do we have? This breakthrough. The Page of Wands and and the Hermit. So the Hermit and doing Hermit work. Oh, great. Okay, so now my neighbors know what I do. Because I can see. Okay, so the Hermit. Gotta own it. Gotta own who you are. Gotta own your identity. Okay. The Hermit with the Page of Wands. There may be something being. I don't want to just say it's being revealed. This feels something. There's a child or there's children, or, there could be if there's a child, there's one that's an old soul, and they could come out with something that is something like you just never thought of. They might say something that you never looked at it that way, or you never saw something that way. And it might be about a movie. It might be some wise insight into life, but it's going to be something that kind of catches you. It might not even be your kid. It could be, you know, you're standing in line and there's a young kid in front of you or behind you, and then they say something that you're like, whoa, you know. For some of you, this is inside of you. For some of you, this is your subliminal self. Watch the vlog, How to Heal and Move On, and apply the technique. It's not enough to just watch the video, you have to apply the technique. And you're gonna have to know you might be using something like dowsing rods or pendulums or something. You have to trust it. You have to trust what you know. And when you get an intuitive hit, when you get a feeling like I shouldn't go there, or when you get a feeling like I want to check this out, whether it's through curiosity or attraction, that's your higher self trying to put you on the timeline that you're trying to manifest, that you're trying to jump onto, that you're trying to, you know, and it might not, your logical mind, or maybe even your ego, might want to doubt that, might want to question it, might want the proof and the evidence and like all of everything to be organized a certain way. It's not how it works. Oh, okay. So perfect example. I'm going to show you. Give me a moment here. Hold on. Let's do a little OOTD moment. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is a perfect example of what I'm explaining. So when you're going with the flow, you don't want to use your logical mind to doubt things, because you kind of stop it. It's like, for instance, so people like me, like people that are still psychic, we are like the fountainheads. Things flow through us and we don't hold on to it. When I'm remote viewing, when I'm doing a psychic tarot reading, I don't hold on and I don't question and I don't stop. I just, you know, like a shotgun. And then you guys tell me like, oh yeah, this is what that is. Okay, and then it's just like, it just flows, and then we do your reading. You know, that's just how it goes. And I do a pre-meditation, it's the whole thing. So for instance, I shared this on my Patreon. A couple days ago, I went to I walked over to some place that I frequent, and I got a lottery ticket, and I knew that I was going to win, and I did. I won $4. So I had a 5, and I was going to do a $5 lottery ticket, and it wouldn't take my 5 because it was like bent up in it a little bit. But then I had 2 singles. I put in 2 singles, and I just went with the flow. Like, I didn't get the guy to go make them, you know, to make the machine take it and, you know, all of that. I just went with the flow, and that felt right. And then I got a $2 ticket, and I won not just $2, but I got the bonus as well, and I won $2 more. So I'll just show you guys that real quick. And so I knew that I was going to win. I wouldn't have bought the lottery ticket if I didn't know I was going to win. So I wasn't planning on getting the ticket. I went for something else. Like, I wasn't going to get a ticket. I was going for something else, and I felt it. It's happened when I first started trading crypto in December of 2020, which was the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, which is my 8th house of other people's money. So I won other people's money, but then I also started trading crypto, which is me. I was winning and I was profiting, and I was getting, you know, making more money, doubling and tripling and things like that. And so, you know, it's also psychic ability. It's also your connection. It's one of the psychic houses. So just like this, and this is a very small example, you know, but there's like a whole, but I know what it feels like. My point is saying I know what it feels like, because it started happening with crypto. I would look at charts. I actually had a like sort of psychic consigliere session with someone who also has this sort of financial knack, like a financial psychic knack. And I was telling her these stories. And so I was looking at charts, I was looking at candlesticks, I was like addicted. I got so into it, December 2020. And I would look at charts for a coin, you know, and the first time it was so weird. I heard jingling like coins in a little bag. And I was looking at I was like, you know, watching the stuff here, and I heard, you know, like the coins jingling. And I was like, so I made just a little bit, but I tripled. And I was like, oh, this coin's gonna go up. I was looking at another chart and I heard a light switch flip. You know that sound, like that flipping on, and it felt like a little bit brighter in the room, even though it wasn't, but it was just like the psychic message. So I went in a little more. I put some more money on it and it doubled. It was so cool. Anyway, but that was teaching me what that feeling feels like. And I felt it when I walked into this place. And I knew that I was going to win, and I did. So, you know, it's like you have to know your feelings, though, and you have to be the awareness behind the awareness, and you have to observe the feelings as they're flowing through you. I'm not the only psychic here. I'm not the only one channeling energy. Every human being, every living thing is channeling energy. We're all connected like this, okay? So I just want you to know that you could do something like that if you want to learn, but it just takes it's self-mastery, and you know my whole spiel about self-mastery. So long story short, this could be your subliminal self. This could be your inner child saying something to you, and I want you to take them seriously, just like I would want you to take an actual child telling you something directly or indirectly, verbally or non-verbally, with their body language or with their words or with their eyes. I would want you to take that seriously. So why wouldn't you take your own self that seriously and give yourself that same love and care and consideration? That's for someone. Sorry, that was like a really long roundabout way of saying that, but I think you get the point. Last energy, last message. Of course, it's the death energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. Speaking of winning the lottery, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, so we've got a very happy camper here. Let's see if I can bring this a little closer. Let me know how you guys like this. We'll see. I'm experimenting. So we have the King of Wands, we have that Wheel of Fortune, and we've got that Nine of Cups. So that Nine of Cups is also like a wish coming true. And the Wheel of Fortune, definitely some big swinging changes. And if that's not enough, you have the Death and the Tower, and then you have this card, which is the Hanged Man, and I picked him up like this. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood. I'm sorry I cannot travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. And took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden back. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Think about that. While you are standing at the precipice, at the fork in the road of the two roads you can go down, and the wisdom is in the choice. He's not the wisest person on the planet, but Robert De Niro did say that the talent is in the choices. There's some instances where the grass is greener where you water it, and there's some contexts and situations where the grass is greener on the other side. And, everyone has their own answer. So because I picked it up this way, I do feel with all this change afoot, I do feel like someone is making up their mind. And to do this, you want to tune into your heart. I really, really feel like this is someone's inner child, but it could even come through an actual little person that's just they're gonna, especially if they're under 7, they're still psychic. They're still sort of like in the spirit world. They're still sort of in other dimensions. So they're very pure channels of information. And so for some of you, it's going to be through a child, one of your own in the family, or out in, I love when it happens so rarely, but it's so sweet when I'm like, someone thinks that I'm their mom or something. They come and they hold my hand and they're just like looking around, and then they look up at me. It's just the sweetest thing in the world. So, it could be something like that. But I really feel like, at least for one of you out there, it's going to be your own subliminal self that is screaming for your attention and screaming for you to take the pressure off, or to force them to do something, or to force them to want something or be something, or there's something there, and this life, this situation can't hold that. It can't hold all of that pressure. Take a look at this Ace of Cups. Now it is with the Death energy, so whatever is being decided upon, it is going to cause permanent, irreversible, that's what I'm trying to say. Irreversible, permanent, irreversible change. So really, you just tune into your heart. Because everything is hard. Staying the same is hard. Change is hard. So choose your heart. And the wisdom in that choice is going to be when you tune into your heart space, when you tune into your own higher self. And really listening. Tell me about this Ace of Cups. What's this breakthrough? Oh, I'm going to take it. Do you see? It is the Ten of Pentacles. So this could actually be with the genealogy. This could be something with the family line. This could be some huge family progress, or some kind of, this is definitely the future. This is like you are changing, like really changing timelines with your decisions. Now listen, I'm getting a lot of questions on my TikTok about timelines and like what happens and like what happens. So if all timelines exist in the realm of the potential, let's say, all of those realities, all those potentialities exist somewhere, somehow, and what happens to us when we make a decision, what happens to the life that we're already on, that timeline continues in the realm of potentiality, but it's not in the physical reality. You're living on the timeline that you're choosing in your physical reality. You're using your free will to do that. There's that version of you that exists with those other choices that you made, and everyone exists in that, just like you will exist in other people's timelines as, and those relationships too. So, this is like, you have a very strong emotional reaction to your future, to where you want to retire, or who you want to be 30 years from now, or what you want your family to be. And like there's like a whole, it's very emotional, about an emotional release, catharsis for the family. Oh, I'm getting financial literacy. Oh, okay. That's so interesting that the finances are coming up. Someone's going to make a lot of money this fall. The recession is like Black Friday, okay? It's just like more people are made very wealthy, rich during recessions. And I'm connecting with someone that's gonna be one of those people where you're gonna make a lot of money this fall when everything goes totally freaking parabolic and everything. So, this might even be some kind of breakthrough emotionally about finances or self-worth, or about how you value family, how you store your value, or like the means of exchanging value, with money and currency and stuff. Like there might be some kind of value shift and perspective shift. She's showing me 9th house. So I'm getting like the astral travel. The astral travel, and I'm getting something about like a hard line. It's like so 9th house is also dogma. It's astral travel, but it's also like your dogma. I feel there's someone's gonna see, it's almost like you have, like you're dating someone with children and maybe you weren't like so into it, and then you come around and you have this emotional breakthrough and you're like, oh my god, these are my kids, you know, where it's like you didn't see yourself as like that before, but now you are. Or you see your concept of your future very differently, or the value of family differently. Maybe you have like a blended family, or maybe you are going to change the relationship with your children, or maybe it's something like that. Something like that. Okay, let's take a look at this tower. I know some of you have been waiting for me to get to that part. Okay, tell me about this tower and the Fool. It's kind of lucky. Like whatever this change is, whatever this huge transition is for you, like it does have some lucky break baked into it. Lucky break baked into it. Say that times. Say that times. Say that 10 times really fast. Okay. We've got another Page of Wands, another Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. Let me show you there. Very nice. Good. You do the work in your heart space. You do the work through the emotions. You do the alchemizations. You do the hermit work. You do the shadow work. All of it through your feelings, through your emotions. Everything else is just here to stimulate that, is just here to trigger and prompt. All this other stuff is just the catalyst for change. But the change is internal. When you shift your consciousness, oh my God, then things really start rocking and rolling physically. But you don't wait for the physical stuff to change for you to change internally. You don't wait for that. You don't wait for another person to change. You don't wait for circumstances to change. You be insistent about feeling as good as possible, and as peaceful as possible, and as full of love and contentment as possible. Because everything else in the world is going to be rattling against that. It's hard enough. Your heart's telling you, screaming about a person, a relationship. Maybe it's someone you already know. Maybe it's someone you're already, this could be romantic, does not have to be. Could be platonic, does not have to be. Could be professional or familial, does not have to be. This could even be your relationship to your, like your public, your clients, your parents, you know, even just your relationship to other people. Like, you guys have heard me say that there's your public life, you're interacting with the public, and there's your personal life, your friends and your family, and then there's your private life. Your private life is just you. It's you and your subliminal self, you and your inner child, you and your spirit guides, you and your higher self, you and your God, your Krishna, your source, your universe, your great intelligence behind all manifestation, whatever you want to call it. But that's private. So something is screaming from your private world, and it does affect your personal life. This is a breakthrough in relationships. And that breakthrough is coming from the inside. It's coming from inside. And it's coming from you taking care of yourself. And don't worry about pressures. Don't worry about, okay, the world's going to do what it's going to do. Other people have free will. They're going to do what they're going to do. What do you have control over? How much control and influence and maneuverability do you have? In your private world, it's 100%. In your personal life, less. You can't really control a lot of that, but you can influence it. You can influence your family members. You can influence your your friends and your family. You can be encouraging. You could be demoralizing. You could be manipulative, but you have influence there. And then that public life, you're more influenced by that. You can influence some of it, and some people, if you can see, of course, can influence quite a bit more. But, you know, even so, that's still kind of like, you know, we'll see. All right, let's take a look at what this is saying. This Hermit with the Page of, ooh, another ace. Look at you. Look at you. You've got this Ace of Wands. So you might have a great idea. You might have a freaking wonderful idea for your relationship. This could be a breakthrough in the... Now, this could be really great for business partnership. If this is business partnership, you have like a freaking breakthrough that just... This could be like the next billion-dollar idea. Or this could be... Now, this is more romantic. This could be a breakthrough in the bedroom. Okay? If there's some kind of, if there's anything, or there's like a new idea, maybe things are already really great. There's just like even more that's really, really great, you know? It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that. There's something about this Nine of Pentacles that's kind of like, it feels like, this person sort of, like, I don't know, like this is like the Two of Cups, that's like best friends. That's like a union, you know, but there's kind of only room for two. So, I don't know. I feel like this Nine of Pentacles, maybe it's like a therapist or something. There's like there's something else. There's like another person there. It's okay. Let me put it this way. There's either a third person or someone becomes single. It's someone's heart is speaking so loudly. Okay. Someone, and they've got to share that, and whatever it is, like, just share the truth of how you feel, of what's in your heart, and let the chips fall where they may, because that has to be the right thing. Following your heart has to be the right thing. If you listen to your intuition and it's like a huge disaster or something, your intuition was either misinformed, and people do that. People feed each other bad information, bad intel. They set them up so that they sort of weaponize their intuition against them. And this is like very high level manipulation that you only really, I only really see in very entrenched and meshed relationships, like family relationships, or like if there's like a bad marriage, like a manipulative. I kind of get that with Inception, which is why that's such a big freaking movie for me, is that it's like this husband like manipulated his wife, like, oh, it freaks me out, you know, like how he puts the, and then the, oh, like it's just, not saying that that's anyone's situation. I'm just saying, like, they're just, okay, let's do it again. Not again, but let's take a deeper look. What's this Ace of Wands? And we will use the potato chip deck. See which way this is going. If you are a Nine of Pentacles, this could be a couple that you know, or if you're in a couple, this might be just some, you know, single person. I'm not picking up indiscretion. Like, it's nothing, like there's no cheating. Like, I'm not getting that. Not one. So if you're wondering, no, I'm not getting that at all. But there is something, you know, let me start there. Let me just ask about what's this Nine of Pentacles? Like, what's that for? It's the Eight of Chalices. Okay, so this has nothing to do with like a third party situation. This is someone leaving a relationship. You might be leaving your boss, you might be leaving your company, you could be leaving your, you know, goodness gracious, Eight of Cups. But yeah, someone's walking away, but it's honestly, their heart is like telling them. So if you are being left and you really love this person, you'll let them go. If you're leaving and you really love this other person, you'll let them go and you'll walk away. No one deserves to be with someone that doesn't really love them. Not for everyone, it's that they don't love each other. Because I do see some nice love here, I do. Okay, now let me take a look at this Ace of Wands, because this is really positive, you know, there's just change. Change can be positive. So let's take a look at this Ace of Wands. I do have to take it because it's on the bottom of the deck and we already have it on the table. This is a really cool, hold on, it's like a really cool, wait a minute, hold on, there we go. It's a really cool rendition of the Death card. Oh, and the Lover's under there, but we're gonna keep it. Okay, so Death and the Eight of Cups. So someone is taking a new path. Now, it doesn't have to be like they really, for some of you, someone's leaving a relationship. For some of you, there might be something changing in the relationship where, be real careful with this. If you like open it up, be careful with that, because I don't know. But it might be the relationship itself allows for more freedom for the individuals within the connection. Or it could be that your partner, if you are, you know, if you and a sibling are in the family business together, you know, that, you know, maybe one sibling is always doing everything because growing up, oh, the other sibling, they can't do anything. They never do anything, right? Da, 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 da. And now you're in adulthood and it's like that, maybe it's the older sibling, right? The older sibling just always does everything and they kind of keep that younger sibling, maybe this is even unconscious, but they keep the younger sibling in this state of like disempowerment and with like lacking an individual identity, just because it was like the routine. They might not appreciate that this younger sibling needs to like individuate and have their own like growth and grow up experience and to learn how to be responsible and to have the freedom to even make mistakes and learn along the way how to be more self-sufficient. That older sibling might insulate that person from feeling any pain that they need to experience in order to grow. They might be sort of insulating this, like someone within the connection's a little bit like, someone wants to grow. I mean, okay, let's take a look at the Ace of Wands. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it's the Magician. You know what? This is the person that's, what did I start this with? Someone's like, you know, a baby psychic or a baby witch, or in this case, you know, baby magician. Oh, God, my arms are really, really long, man. All right. So this person is definitely, it's almost like they need to do more. Yeah, I really, this feels like siblings or roommates or something, where one needs more magic, more like to maybe even use their ability, if this is really, really resonant with you, where maybe this is even like very light, where you just bought your first crystal book and you just bought like a couple of crystals in your, you know, local witchy shop, and you don't know anything about anything, but you just feel like, I want to start with crystals and making crystal grids and stuff like that. And you know, you're just like, okay, your roommate is your sibling and they're like making fun of you, and you're like, okay, I can't, like, I'm on a whole different path. And maybe they're making fun of you, like you're really, what do people say, like, woo woo. Maybe, oh, you're woo woo, you know, and you're like, okay, we're not in the same vibe, you know, and it's like you need to go like individuate, and you need that space to it's kind of maybe like that where someone needs to, but it's like their heart saying that their heart really wants. It's like they want to use their more of their ability. Oh, I just feel this. This is after the dread. She just gave me that dread thing again. This is after the dread. The dread is leading up to the tower moment. But then after the tower moment, it's kind of like the come down from the heightened emotions. What's this? The Hanged Man and Death, please. You have double death. And you have the Magician. Ooh, you have the Chariot. And the King of Cups. So again, this is all an involution. This is all emotional. This is all of the meaningful changes are happening inside. Okay? That's how it happens. That's how it, you know. I think it was the Victorians, maybe the Edwardians, that would take like blue pencil and they would trace over their veins to look more, you know, beautiful. That was like part of the beauty thing. The standard of beauty is to have like very light, and then they would smudge it to make it look more natural. You know, natural blue veins. Sorry, okay. So double death, to clarify death. And double Page of Wands is the excitability, is sort of this thrilling, it's like an exclamation mark. And then you have the King of Cups and the Magician. So the road that you take is very uniquely yours. It really is. You have triple death. Excuse me, you actually have death with the Eight of Cups with this Nine of Pentacles. You have 3 death cards, and you have this King of Cups. It doesn't have to be Scorpio or Cancer or Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rise. It does not have to be. This is so huge. I'm going to tell you right now, even if you don't verbalize this, what's going on with your heart and your inner child and what you know is right and true for you, your abilities are going to come up. Okay? It's a past life thing. That's your message. That's the long sword. Some of you are going to have visions of it. Some of you are going to see the long sword. Remember the most recent with me, watching a movie, heard a name, and felt something. But I can feel the difference between all these different feelings, all the different psychic feelings. I can feel the difference of what's my emotion, and if someone is sitting next to me, if they're feeling an emotion, I feel their emotion in my body. I have to know. When I'm doing a psychic tarot reading, I have to know the difference. Otherwise, you're crazy. Watching a movie, hear the name, get the feeling, forget about it, go to sleep, say the name, same feeling comes up, waking up the next day, get a vision, ask for confirmation, ask to see it in the physical, see it that same day, today, a serendipitous event happened. On my way back from that serendipitous event, saw it again. That's how it goes. Not in that sequential order, but that's the feeling of it. So I'm telling you that, and I had these fresh experiences in order to convey these messages to you, because I'm a professional witch. I'm a professional psychic. So my entire life is meant to be helpful for other psychics and witches and magicians, to help you. Your abilities are opening up, and don't take my word for it. Test it yourself and see. I feel like some of you are actually going to have a financial, it's either financial literacy or it's you're testing it. I feel like someone's going to have a financial knack, like a financial psychic thing. So do like just like I did with when you feel it, because it's like you get an intuitional hit on something or a psychic message, and you test it. You listen to it and see what happens, just like I did with that ticket. You're going to get the confirmation, and then you learn the difference between that feeling and a thought, or that feeling and a different feeling, or something feigned or not really real. But you keep testing it, and that way of communicating, that feeling gets stronger and stronger. The intuition gets stronger that way, the more you listen to it, and the more you see that it's correct, because your trust gets built up. That's why I didn't question it when I went. I was going for something totally different, but I felt it. I felt it, and so it didn't take my 5. I went with the flow, and then I put in my 2 singles. I barely even looked at all of I didn't spend long picking up selecting which little button to press, and then I won. And not only did I win my money back, but I won double. So I feel like you're going to get, and it's not just going to be one. So if you get that intuitional feeling and it's not it, then remember what that feeling feels like, so that you know what it's not feeling like. And then just keep listening, and then you're going to be right on one of them. And then when you are right, relive in your mind what that feeling felt like when you were correct, when your intuition was correct. I feel like there's someone kind of, but for some of you, at least one of you, it's like a financial thing. But I am feeling like, I don't know who is doing it to who. You might be doing it to each other, sort of like suppressing each other's like intuition or ability or something, because this is where the dread is, and this is where it wants to. I don't know like what that means, but like to be free. What other guidance am I here? What other guidance am I here to give and to convey? I feel like something came out and it was not. What guidance am I here to convey? We haven't gotten that one in a while. The Blue Jay. The time is right to access and master your abilities. Do so with humility, keyword humility, and control. I want you to see the words. Do so. It's time to access your. Oh, you can see it right. The time is right to access and master your abilities. Do so with humility and control. Okay, that's exactly what we've talked about in this reading. And then you also have the popper, which is the parrot. Let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It is time to embrace who you really are. You guys have heard me talk about this on the channel, my golden oldies, how it was just like so weird to do tarot readings on the internet and to really, but now look at me. I own my identity as a witch, as a psychic. Gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. I wanted this sparkly, glimmery image of a film and television actress. Being who you are is always better, whatever that is. Doesn't mean I'm not a good actor or into film and TV and, you know, screenwriting and directing and performing and being artistic and, you know, all of those things, yes. You have to just let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It is time to embrace who you really are. And it might be both of you that are having your abilities coming up, you know? Like, remember, if you know, it's you guys, you're mirroring each other. For some of you, this is definitely a family member that it's like they might, like with a sibling thing, like they might not see you as like an adult, or maybe your parent doesn't see you as a separate, unique individual, or like there's something like that. So, okay, love you guys forever and ever and always. Take very good care. Until next time, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.